What it do, people? It's the WorkFlo podcast. It's your boy WorkFlo Dre, and we here in another artist segment, man. And I got one of my personal favorites in here. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into it and let him introduce himself, man. So, what's your name and where you from?
Yo, this is Cash Mahall. Coming in from Clayco, Riverdale to be exact.
One and only.
Straight up from the south side, man.
Yeah, okay, man. Yeah, so we share some similar ties, man, and like we was talking off camera, man. I felt like it's crazy that we got the same circle and we never actually interacted.
Right.
And I appreciate this. This session right here, man. Like we had a winded run a little bit.
It was overdue.
We got it done. We got something for the people, man. But my first question to you is, what got Joe Cash into music?
What got me into music? It was really my pops. Really, he started off as an R&B singer that did couple big records with some bigger legends and stuff. He grew up with like Snoop and stuff like that, so he worked with like Father MC and stuff, and a lot of his time was dedicated to making music, and that's what kind of kept him kind of in and out a lot, because he was always doing shows or in the studio or something like that. So my whole thought plan behind it of how can we spend more time together was, let me try music, because in that case, if he go to the studio, I do it too. I can spend more time with him and stuff like that. So,
a bonding moment.
Yeah. So okay, I tried to finesse my way in to allocate some more time dedicated to me and whatnot. So I picked it up. But then also a lot of stuff he was listening to, I picked up as well, as just like, oh, I like how these people rapping or something like that. So that got me in the works of wanting to try it at first. And actually, when I started, I sucked. I sucked. I sucked hard, man.
I felt that.
For real, man. As a kid, bro, I started rapping at like 8. That's when I started trying to write anything. And I was taking like the poems and stuff out of my literature book. And it was all written in rhyme scheme already. So I just tried to deliver it on the beat.
Right.
And I tried to show somebody at one time, and my sister happened to be around, and she like put me on blast on it. Like she was like, "Oh, he just said that rap. That's from my book over here up on the literature book." So she had seen that I had like stole a poem and tried to rap it and shit. So after that, I was like, "Oh no, she ain't calling me out on nothing else. I'm gonna try this writing. I'm gonna write it in the same pattern scheme."
But to your point, I think a lot of that inspiration start with a wee bit of plagiarism. Like, we might, I understand that.
The first couple of years was just like, say if it was like an underground artist that only I knew about or something, man. Mm-hmm. If I'm out with the older kids or something, I'll be done spit that verse. And they don't know where it's from, but they like, yo, Joe be rapping. I just know how to do it. I practice it, but nah, man, rap sucked until I got like 15 and shit, man. Then stuff started picking up, and at first, my older crowd, like my uncles and stuff like that, used to tell me like, either one, wait till you finish school, or two, wait till you old enough to deal with this stuff, because they was already doing it. And I think that was majority because they already knew the things that came with it, and they knew the substance to talk about. Like in today's days, we look at it crazy as if we hear a 10-year-old, 11-year-old talking about he on the corner getting money or serving bricks and stuff. You're like, man, you're 11, 12 years old. You ain't doing none of that. So it sounds crazy. But now I see why they were saying it in my in my situation, because at the time I didn't know what to rap about. I just knew I wanted to rhyme words. So the topic, I didn't care about topics. It was like, does shit rhyme or not? So as I got older, like I said, to around 15, then I noticed what substance was and making stuff relative to what the people were talking about or thinking about.
Okay. I like that you said that, because my next question is, what type of message are you trying to send in your music, if any? Like,
I don't think it can pinpoint like one song to portray one message. I think it's me as an artist. If a person has like watched me from beginning to end, I mean not to end, or to this point, is yo, this dude didn't give up. Like he been rapping a long time, and he got better every year or every project, whatever the situation was. It's just my message is to show them that you don't give up on the shit you believe in, and I believe in this shit 1,000%. So it's like I'm chipping at the ice until that shit all the way knocked down, but I've never looked at it as I'm being stagnant or I'm in the same place. Every time I do something, or each year, it has been a step forward, and more people listening, more people reaching out and shit like that. So I've loved the organic rise of where I'm at today.
Okay, I like that. I like that, man. So who are some of your biggest influences? Let's start with just throughout time. We'll start from Young Joe Cash.
Young Joe Cash, man. What's funny is
your biggest influences through the timeline. Like what? Just to name a few.
Well, the younger days when everybody was bumping like the OGs of who run the game. Now it was a lot of like Luda and Jeezy and the early Rick Ross and stuff like that. It was kind of majority of the old heads influencing.
In Atlanta, right?
Yeah. Okay. But I think the most was like Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott, only because they brung entertainment to it instead of just rapping or anything. My favorite rapper when I first started out and who I was listening to try to learn the verses was Busta Rhymes, bro. So many flows and shit. I'm like, I don't even know how he do this shit, but I'm gonna practice it and I'm gonna learn how to do it. So I think he had like the biggest influence of like how many flows I got now and keeping that entertainment while you're doing it.
Yeah. First thing I thought of was some black trash bags when you said that shit. Like,
but creative, man.
But no, that's a good starting lineup, man. I like that, man. What are some current artists like mainstream that you could see yourself working with right now?
Man, I'm gonna go with my top two, who I've always said like, yo, when it's there, I gotta get these features from these people.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
And that would have been free the guys, free YSL. But
hold on, dead or alive?
These are alive.
Okay,
these are alive. Cause I listen to them.
No, I'm giving you the option. They can be dead or alive.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
The ones that are alive, the ones that I still want to connect with is probably Gunna and ESTG. As far as like just the kind of presence they bring to music. There are a few other influences that I try to tap in with, like the Don Tollivers and Chance, a lot of people that do unorthodox things, because that's what I like to gravitate to, who really listening for them outside sounds and them backgrounds and stuff like that. I like the complexity of trying to dissect the beat and make it more than what it is.
I'm glad you said that. You got an opportunity to get one beat from any producer that you want. Name that producer and why.
Man, shit. Let me see, man. You said that's already like on and whatnot.
Period.
Man.
You just got one, anybody who you want to be.
Man, well, I'm a do the bro. My guy, Trez Jones, man. He do a lot of artists that's kind of like on the uprise and underground. He's even had some higher placement with artists that's out, but me just knowing him over the years, he always has a unique sound that complements the artist versus just bass sound that everybody has to work with or gravitate to. It's like he gravitates with the artist, so whatever your sound is, it's a complimented sound. So right. I fuck with him hard.
Okay. All due respect to him. You got mainstream.
Mainstream will probably be Right now, I say.
And I gotta know why. I gotta know why.
Oh shit, man.
I gotta know why.
I say Dre, bro. I say Dre. Because he's so diverse and in depth with different sounds that what doesn't work, he won't let it go, and what he hears or the potential of what he hears can be even grander than that. So I like somebody who's thinking on the same aspect of how big can this one thing go, not 4 or 5 records down the line. It's one track at a time. We gonna perfect this shit. We gonna make sure it has everything. I'm sure that's still the technique that he's used with any artist he worked with, whether it was Kendrick or whoever. It's let's perfect this shit before we move on to something else. So I like that kind of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Any producer or engineer that's really hands-on with the person they working with, you can really gravitate to, because they care about it as much as you care about it, and it's not just a job for them. So that's why I fuck with them.
Okay. So one thing I gotta ask all my guests when this does drop, it's the WorkFlo podcast. So I feel like I bring people here because other people kind of want a sneak peek or some type of deep dive into our workflows. Like, so if you could share a little bit of your work process when you creating, like you just got a beat from whoever it may be, and it's time to cook. Like, what are some of the steps you take to get to where you got a finished product?
Well, first we got to make sure some gas is near around.
Okay, yeah.
we gotta look for the.
D Star said it got to be some drink.
Drink is okay, but I think the greenery is the leveler in the room.
420 friendly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay.
It create a vibe. I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's everybody, but music just sound different when you done smoke, man. That's just what it is. I don't hear it the same when I'm just going by just listening and shit. But let me find something up right quick, and I can tell you what the ad libs say, what the background noises is, what instrument it is, bro. Locked in, bro. But that's the startup. That's number one. We get that out of the way. 2 is the quickest thing that happens to come to me when it comes to music is the hooks. Whether how diverse it is or whatever, it doesn't matter if it's 3 different changes in it or what, but for some reason for the past 5 years, hooks they just come to me 5 minutes, 10 minutes at the most. If the beat is gravitating to me like that, then that's what I stop and work on, and I won't mess with it unless it automatically comes like that. I'll never feel like I want to force myself to a record or do something that I'm uncomfortable with. So it's been beats that are fire as hell, but I'll walk right over them because nothing didn't grab me right then and there.
Oh yeah.
So grab the green, the hook is there, knock that out, and then the actual writing process is what takes the longest for the verses. But that's because I want it to be as relatable as possible, and because a lot of things that I am discussing in the music are relative to my own life. Though it's rap, you still got to make sure it makes sense, and can it be done in a rhyme scheme? So trying to tell the truth and be honest and make it rhyme is where that kind of challenge comes in, that you kind of balance out and try to sit back and really take your time with, because you don't want to just run through it. Now, if it's a club record or something like that, then I'm going to just go off of the natural vibes. But anything that I'm personally working on that's like a gift for me or something as far as a message trying to get out, I'm going to take my time with it. So I'll sit down on it, whether it take 2 hours or 2 days, but I'm not going to a studio before that verse is perfected. I know it all, don't have to look at what's written or nothing, and I feel it like I'm wanting to get the message out. Yeah, that's usually the process, man.
I feel that, man. Okay, so if you could describe yourself with 3 artists, I saw this on Facebook the other day, but if you could use 3 artists to describe yourself, who would they be?
Shit.
And it's not to say you sound like them.
Right.
We saying just to describe like the what they say, the vibe, your mood, or the
vibe
like
mood. I'd say you catch the flows.
And you can go old school to new school, all that.
You catch the flows of like a T.I. Offset Jid type, but how it's that will be in a delivery standpoint, because I like stuff that's kind of bouncy and right on top of the beat that keep that head motion going and you just vibing with it.
Right.
But in the same token, you still the topics or the message may come across as like some Kevin Gates type shit or but also stepping in the lane on the melodic side of some Don Toliver gonna in that lane. So I try to tap all the lanes because it's so many lanes. And I don't try to dedicate myself to one category and you just got that one fan base. But the more they know you know how to do, shows the amount of control you have over your gift and how talented you are with your gift. So I'm always trying to enhance that, tap into different categories. I don't care if it's pop, rock, country, whatever the hell it is. But the more that they can see that you are good at, you just showing off your traits. So that's what I try to do. And those people are kind of all over the place in those categories for the people that I name, but when you combine them all in one pot, you just got this person that you looking at like, God damn, what this nigga can't do.
That's a nice medley, man. I like that. Okay, man. So we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. It's been a great session, man. I'm glad I got one of my boys in here to kick it off, man. I really appreciate you coming through, man. But where can the people find you, man? Where's the work at? Where can they tune in or tap in or check you out, bro?
Okay, so as of right now, I want to say we got like four albums and about 3 mixtapes, and these are on all platforms. That would be Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal. A lot of places people can overlook is some of the mixtape sites, and that's where they'll find a lot of the up-to-date stuff as well. Like the last project I just dropped, which was Black Mountain Vegeta, that is only on the mixtape platforms because we may have some artistry beats, or we may have some that didn't have all the way clearance, so we shot it through on there, and those sites would be like Dat Piff, Audio Max, Spinrilla, things like that. But everything is under Joe Cash Mahal, no matter what platform you go on. I have maybe 30 videos on YouTube, so we got the music videos, we show the consistency, we got the projects, we got the features.
Quality.
So it's just about the consistency, but on all platforms, Joe Cash Mahal is what you'll find it under.
All right, can they follow you anywhere, man? I know.
Yeah, Facebook. My artist page is Joe Cash Mahal or JC Mahal. You'll find both of them if you find one. So either way, you look that up. Instagram is Joe Cash Mahal 365, and not really a Twitter person like that. So I wouldn't even bother.
Right. I fit, man.
You want to follow it? You can follow it, but
I
ain't
Twitter
really
to
on
talk
that.
shit about my Falcons, man. That's about it.
Man,
We're
going through it. We're going through it this year.
How that go, man. But we gonna get up out of here again, man. I appreciate you.
For sure,
brother, man. It's been real, man. We finna cut all this talking. We about to rap for y'all last, man.
Yeah, we had to do one.